views and opinions expressed are those of the panelists and do not reflect in any way those of the podcast partners, sponsors, or affiliates. Enjoy.
Suavemente. Sky's the limit, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
We don't fight for rings and stuff like that. I don't fear anyone.
En este deporte no se viene a jugar y no le tengo miedo a nadie.
We don't come to play in this sport. I fear no one in this sport.
Does that mean that you will fight Triple G later this year?
Como lo dije en la pelea pasada, ahorita mismo me vuelvo a poner los guantes.
As I said in the last fight, right now I'll put on the gloves again.
¡Viva México!
Canelo wants to unify all the titles.
When did you realize, Andy, that you could take his power?
Because of the Mexican warrior that I am, I got that Mexican blood in me, so talking about the Mexican style, I just proved it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Ain't no other sight in the game can see the Boxing Voice.
Good morning, TBV, and welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to another episode of the Boxing Voice Radio, and we have a great little show lined up for you. Shout out to Andre Ward that took a couple of shots at both his former opponent, Sergey Kovalev, and Canelo Alvarez. He seen the Dazn press conference and seen the behind-the-scenes footage and quote tweeted on that video, "We taking selfies with opponents now?" Emoji thinking, okay, bet. Now I'm thinking to myself, is this a little stab, a little jab? Is this a little hate? Or is this the setup for the comeback? Is this Dazn, who we will have their VP on the line today, as long as our phone lines remain litty? We'll ask Mr. Joe McCroskey himself how interested he is in Andre Ward and the possibility of the winner of that fight fighting Kovalev, who seems to have a deal already on Dazn. So this is what we're going to be talking about. If you're interested, you already know the number to call in, 1-425-569-5241. Press 1 one time to voice your opinion right here on the Voice of the People hotline. Don't forget, you can add Nesta Gibbs on Skype to be part of the conversation as well. So on that note, we heading out to
Dazn Production.
Speak it, believe it, receive it. Speak it, believe it, receive it.
BoxingVoice.com.
So when I stop him, y'all gonna say he was too weak. He stayed out before he said he was not.
A man stand up for what he believe in, and when you stand up for what you believe in, you accept whatever consequences come behind it.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo. Good morning to everybody out there in the TBV universe, back with another one. And yeah, man, Andre Ward, look, bro, I don't know what the fuck to say about this shit, bro. Look, hey, I'm gonna give you my opinion, but I'm not really moved by this shit. Doomy, what's the business, man? Good morning to you.
I'm the best ever. I'm the most brutal and vicious and most ruthless champion there's ever been. There's no one can stop me. Lynch is a conqueror. No, I'm Alexander. He's no Alexander. I'm the best ever. There's never been anybody. I'm Sonny Liston. I'm Jack Dempsey. There's no one like me. I'm from Nairclaw. There's no one that can match me. My style is impetuous. My defense is impregnable. And I'm just ferocious. I want your heart. Get up, you son of a bitch.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yeah, Alex Doomsday Line is here with Nesta Gibbs and Mike Boss Cross. We back at it. Sorry for my unattendance. I was a little sick the last couple of days, but I'm back and we talking selfies. We talking selfies this morning. Looks like Ward has that old school mentality, which a lot of us do, on interactions prior to a fight. Sort of like the Andy Ruiz smile and Anthony Joshua stare down. Some people feel like certain normalities that would seem all right, between people shouldn't be done by people who are gonna punch each other in the face. But it grows a lot of interest because shit, man, we're always talking about maybe Ward, making his return, and shit, what a return it would be to fight, the winner of Kovalev and Ward. I mean, imagine a trilogy between Kovalev and Ward, and imagine just Ward coming back to Canelo. I don't know if that's something that Canelo would be interested in, but hey, fuck it, let's get into this.
Yeah, man. I'm wondering what your guys' thoughts on Ward facing the winner. Like, let's just jump straight to the point. Would you accept Ward coming out of retirement for the winner, or does Ward need to do it the way that he fought Kovalev, maybe a contract with 2 tune-ups before, then the winner?
Looks like our voices are low.
I told you guys. You didn't want to listen to me. You told me it was me. I told you.
Everyone's voice is low.
No, I'm pretty sure they'll be specific and say it's your voice that's low, not mine. No way my voice is low. Waiting for someone to say it in the chat. Ness, your voice is low too. See? Volume low for Mike and Doomy.
That's you, motherboard status.
Negatory.
I could go all the way up. Can you hear me now? That's the highest I can go right there, baby.
Nah, man, I don't know. Something's up today, I guess.
Eric said it's just Doomy.
Well, Mike ain't talking.
I'm back now. I had to go out and try to make sure that I have my volume up. Can y'all hear me now, man, in the chat? Let me know.
It says real low.
Yeah, I don't know what's up, man. I don't know. I mean, everything is everything here.
Ness, your voice is real low.
It said, Ness, your voice is never low.
Oh, okay. It said we are low.
It's Doomy and Mike, but I think it's mostly me. But like, what am I doing?
Yo, am I too loud now?
That sucks, man. We had so many interviews scheduled. We keep having these little technical difficulties, man. Show business. Now I'm gonna have to reschedule Joe, because if they can't hear you guys, I mean, that's gonna be a shit interview.
What is it that's,
I mean, is it the Skype?
Yeah, I mean, I think we can try that. We can just redo the call or whatever.
Let me do me low, Ness is fine.
Yeah.
Are you guys on the latest version, 8.5?
Yep. Let me come back out and come back in and see how it works.
True. All right.
Alrighty then, fellas. So I will talk to my chat, man. What do you guys think about the fight between Ward and the winner? Is this a setup for the winner? What do you guys think? Let me know in the chat, man. Hopefully we can get this situated beforehand. Yeah, you still sound extremely low, man. I have no clue what's going on. Something's up. It's a shit show. Yo. Nah, Ward retired, says Plugs. Pug Ills. I don't know. Something Pug Ill? I don't know. But Ward's retired. It would be sexy. See, I like that, George. I think it would be good too, man. I don't know, man. I don't mind it. They say...
They say we still low, bro. Like, I ain't take shit from last night.
Yeah. Am I still low?
Yeah, you are, man. I'm telling you, I hear you guys. I mean, look. At least we know it's a Skype issue. Definitely.
Are you up like on your end?
Excuse me? I didn't hear you.
Yeah, he hears us low too.
Yeah, can you turn the volume up on our end?
No. I mean, I already did that within Skype. Like, I already did that, and it doesn't even do anything. Like, I've checked if there's updates. I went from 2 to 6 on the audio, and all that does is raise the ringer audio, like when you incoming call. Because, look, I could test that's how I know it's good on my end, see? That's me testing audio. Won't you press that? Go to your preference in video. Look how low you sound. The people could hear that. You guys have some sort of issue coming in right now. It might not be yours. It might be, an internal Skype issue. But even that ringtone sounded horrible. Did mine sound clear to you?
I mean, yeah, loud.
Yeah, no, his sounded like muffled. Well, talk about some live, audio technical difficulties. Fucking damn, bro. And I had Joe McCroskey lined
up.
Here
with it. You hear me better now?
Nah, you sound even worse now.
Holy moly. I put the mic right here close. I'm over here singing and shit.
Nah.
Nada?
Nada. I'm definitely deleting this. Damn, my fucking interview with Joe.
Joe Markowski. Champ.
Real low. They still saying it's low. Yeah, Ward left a lot of money on the table, man. That's why I'm saying this would be a great opportunity for Ward to come back. I mean, what we got to ask ourselves, though, is Ward still contractually obligated to Rock Nation? Rock Nation's out of there, and he retired. I don't think his fights were up. I'm not 100% sure on that, though. Hey, guys, why don't you call the other Skype? Call the other Skype. You hear me, Mike? Call the show Skype. Fuck it. See what they do with that one. So that being said, yeah, man, Ward, hopefully he's not obligated to anyone like Rock Nation, because that's a possibility that he might be.
Yo, how I sound now?
You sound great, champ.
Tell your camera back on.
Well, you're not on this Skype, so can't turn that.
Right.
Yeah, you're gonna be audio, champ. But you all goody.
Where you at, Doomy? Can I see Doomy at least?
Damn, I can see Mike and shit.
Yeah, you can see Mike, and I can hear you way better.
Oh, so what you doing though?
So it was y'all, man. I'm telling you, y'all culprits, man. Doomy ain't even got a Skype account. His shit came through on the numbers.
What you talking about?
It can't be us, man.
Yeah, look, it say Nesta and it say Mike, and yours says, look at what yours says, bunch of numbers. You like a.
I'm saying, like, it can't be both me and Doomy. Like, what the fuck did you do?
Is you and Doomy? Don't hate.
I see Mike and I see my icon.
Hey, Doomy, what's that guy's name that we having on this morning?
Markowski. Joe Markowski.
It's not pronounced that way?
I thought it was Joe McCloskey. I ain't know Markowski.
It's definitely M-A-R.
Okay.
It's Markowski. Ness was murdering the name earlier.
Yeah.
Yo, I'm a murderer. Yo. All right, so now we could talk. I mean, we're going to have like 15 minutes of crazy audio. So, all right, give me your thoughts on this Ward, quote tweet, and my theory that this could be another financial lucrative opportunity for Dazn. Ward is a pretty known name. And if you can get Ward to come back, there's, I don't know, possibility of a Carl Froch come back too, right? Like, and I know people are gonna be like, yo, Ness, like you bringing Ward out of retirement, then you want to bring Carl Froch out of retirement. Next, you're gonna bring Tony Bellew, and maybe, right? Maybe, but there's different markets. Just like there's a Logan Paul KSI market, there's a Ward, an older man's boxing market. Fights that we still want to see. I think I would not mind him fighting the winner of this.
I mean, let me tell you something, man. First of all, let's talk about this selfie moment that Ward had and shit when Canelo and Kovalev took their selfies. Obviously, he's part of the old school mentality. You feel me? Don't be all buddied up when y'all ready to punch each other in the face. You know what I mean? But others want to argue that people could be cordial. I want to know what the TBV fam what has to say about that. I mean, you got two sides to that. But Andre's retired, man. He hung up them gloves, man. He ain't coming back. He liked that suit and tie. He ain't coming back to this.
Yeah, man. I'm with Doomy. Like, it seems like Andre Ward said he left tens of millions of dollars on the table. I mean, I don't know about that, buddy. Okay. And he said that he's not really looking at coming back. I mean, I can respect Dame Lillard for asking the question. You know what I'm saying? He's a big boxing fan, NBA point guard for the Portland Trail Blazers. He was just like, man, I heard if Canelo and Kovalev go and Canelo wins, that hey man, you might come back and try to get that pound thing back going. And I mean, look, we all know Ward wanted that fight a long time ago with Triple G coming up to 168. Canelo said that making 160 could not. I mean, he wants to go back down to 160, but hopping up and down in weight, he don't know. He might come back to 168. Who knows? But I wouldn't mind seeing Ward and Canelo fight. But I just knowing Ward, I mean, I really don't think Ward's gonna come back. I think he's done.
Mike, but check it, right? Even if Ward would come back, you think Canelo's gonna want to fight Ward? It's a totally different fighter.
Exactly. Yeah.
He ain't gonna welcome Ward into a motherfucker.
Right. He welcomed Mayweather. And Ward, I'm not saying he could represent the same amount of payday, but I think Ward will represent a huge payday. Ward was never known as a slouch. So they got to pay Canelo to fight Ward. Like, that's a dangerous fight. Ward was born in 84, too. He ain't old. He's not old. He's like 34, maybe.
Yeah, understood.
You said what?
That's old for boxing.
Man, you bumped your head. Floyd fought Canelo at fucking 36.
It was over.
Boxing. All right, champ.
By boxing standards, you know what I mean? I mean, guys are having more longevity nowadays than you know, maybe 10, 15 years ago. But
having longevity don't mean you're not up in age. I mean, I'm confused.
I mean, you know what it is too, Mike? It also translates. Hold on. It also translates.
Look old though. Did Floyd look old at 36 versus Canelo, or did he look like the best version of himself and he lost no fucking rounds?
This is what I'm getting at, Ness. It's like, you know, damage in fights goes into account. You know, the life of a fighter has many factors in it. You know, how many battles he's been in. There's some young guys that are worse than the older guys, depending on how many, you know, brutal fights they've been in. So how many rounds and how many fights and how many grueling punishment has a fighter taken? Then we could talk about the life of a fighter. You know, Floyd Mayweather, he's a special specimen. You feel me? Motherfucker never gets hit. So of course his 40-year-old is probably like a 30-year-old Collazo, you know what I'm saying, or one of the other fighters that have been in wars. You know what I mean? It's difference, man. It's difference. Even though Ward, you know, would be, I mean, that would be a hell of a super fight. I mean, that right there, I think would be Canelo's most. I mean, probably Floyd Mayweather was the hardest fight he had, but he got sucked down. He wasn't in the right positioning for that fight. I'm pretty sure that Canelo would not treat Andre Ward like he has Kovalev, bro. He saw something in Kovalev, and I know you're probably going to roll into this too, Ness, Mike, about how John David Jackson said that Kovalev's the weakest. How you feel about that, Mike?
I wouldn't say that he's the weakest. I mean, looking at honestly, I mean, yeah, I wouldn't say that he's the weakest. I mean, he might be the most vulnerable, and but to say that he's the weakest, I mean, Kovalev has proven a lot in the sport, done a lot in the sport. You know what I'm saying? I just don't agree for him to be called the weakest champion when all the other three champions ain't really done with what he's done. So I didn't like when John David Jackson said that. I think John David Jackson was maybe being a little bit, you know, vindictive, but it is what it is. We can all understand where that's coming from. Well, not understand, but see where that's coming from.
Now,
Ward has officially 2 years out of the ring. Last fight was June 17th, 2017.
Yeah, man. He hasn't fought.
I mean, Peter Quillen took 2 years off. Floyd took almost 2 years off, 18 months, something like that.
True. I mean, look, it all goes to what I always say. Like, what are you doing outside the ring? Are you active? Ward has always been known as a person that really takes care of his body. You know, he's a man of God, and he tries to live a life, you know, where, you know, he doesn't, defile the temple, you know, per se. So, you know, I would expect him to be in good health. But activity is key. Is he hitting the bag? Has he been active? Then again, he's he's a. I mean, he's a. No, I'm not gonna say. Maybe would you agree, Hall of Fame fighter? But like he's a fight. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yo, but listen, remember that we seen him on a contender staying active. You know what I mean? He was sparring with them. Plus, we seen him drop little videos on his IG throughout the last 2 years showing that he's back in the gym. Like, he ain't letting himself get away. We see him on TV. He don't look like Bradley. Bradley looks his size. Let's just think about that for a second. Ward is not letting go. Maybe he is telling the truth. He has no reason to lie. Or does he? Like, why are you guys, not thinking about the fact that, yeah, you say you left $10 million on the table. Didn't Javante say he wanted 10? And that's what made Eddie say, oh, I'm going to sit down with Dazn? You got to speak it, believe it, receive it. If Ward tells you I left $10 million, that means you got to come correct with an 8-figure deal for him just for one fight. If he left 10, you got to come high 8 figures. You got to come high 8 figures.
Maybe Ward is just working the media, allowing us to beg for that fight.
Exactly.
Begging that fight.
Bro, you drop little seeds. You drop little seeds and see what's going to happen. See how the people react. He said it himself. Oh, a lot of you asking me if I want the winner. That was 4 days ago. Then 4 days later, he like, oh, we taking selfies now? Why you worried? You ain't into the winner? Or are you worried? Are you interested? 4 days ago, he told the basketball player he wasn't. Yesterday, he on it. So, I like it. He said he left money on the table. Well, here it goes, champ. Here it goes. You can do it, too. You on that Floyd level where you barely get hit, I know he went down versus Kovalev, but, he barely gets hit. So, it's like, he can do it.
I mean, a return fight with Canelo.
You got 2 minutes. You want to go set that up? White man, do me take it away.
Yeah, I texted him already. He's calling into the studio.
Okay, cool.
I was trying to convince him to get a Skype so he could sound like y'all, but
So with that Ward shit, man, I don't believe Ward left $10 million on the table. That's just my personal opinion. I have no proof behind that, but I don't know how many people really are clamoring to see Ward come back in the ring either.
You don't think he moves the needle?
Honestly, I mean, I don't know, bro. Like I like to see Ward fight and shit like that, but it wasn't a whole lot of buzz. You know what I'm saying? When he fought Kovalev those 2 times, even though the first fight in a lot of controversy and things like that, the second fight did too. So I mean, that added to it, but it wasn't really like it was overwhelming. You know what I'm saying? Like Ruiz and Joshua or Wilder and Fury, you know what I'm saying? Not on that level, not even a Canelo Triple G. You know what I'm saying? So I mean, I just think that Ward is a good fighter. If he wants to come back, then he'll come back. I don't know about the polling the public and like trying to entice the public, because he's trying to entice us. Shit, we ain't falling for it.
I wouldn't say entice. I'm just saying more around the lines of like Javante. Like, you tell the interviewer what you want. Just like Eddie said, yo, I'll pay $8 million for Mikey and Earl each. You tell them what would get your attention, what would get you to think about it. Once you're talking my language, then we could sit down. That's all I'm saying. Is this that? Can it be at least?
I mean, but what weight would they meet up on? Because I mean,
175.
Ward, see that's the thing. Ward is too. Ward is not going to be looked at. Well, obviously, if Canelo would even accept that, because I don't think Canelo would accept that against the type of boxer that Andre Ward is.
What? Coming off a 2-year layoff, y'all playing my boy again.
Never.
Y'all playing him again.
Never. Canelo is not accepting a 175-pound bout, bro, with Andre Ward. Just not happening.
Bruh, Kovalev is a natural 175-pounder his entire career. He got more knockouts than Ward. He knocked down Ward. Stop acting like Canelo would be afraid of Ward. Stop.
It's not about being afraid. This is about game plan, strategy. Your strategy changes totally. Totally when you fight in the Andre Ward.
All right. We got Dazn VP Joe. Pronounce that last name, Doomy. You're the man. Markowski. On the line, Joe, obviously you see what it is we're talking about this morning. Canelo Kovalev really bringing the buzz to all fight fans. But now we see Andre Ward, a former pound-for-pound #1, the king of the light heavyweight division, coming out, quote tweeting on a Dazn promo of behind-the-scenes footage between Canelo and Kovalev taking a selfie. And Ward says, we taking selfies with opponents now? Okay, bet. So we're scratching our heads. We're thinking, could Dazn be interested in the return of Andre Ward for the winner of Kovalev Canelo? Now, I know that's a lot of hypotheticals, but it's got to make some sort of sense for you guys.
Well, first of all, I'd say thanks for having me, and I'd also say it's great that our social posts are creating such a furore in the boxing fraternity. So it's great. It's great that we're after 1 year in. Such a part of the conversation. Look, I was in LA yesterday. I got back yesterday after a few days with Golden Boy and Team Canelo. Look, he's pumped. He's ready, and he's pretty focused on that fight. I think it's a genuine test for him stepping up. It's no easy task. So I very much doubt he is thinking about anything to do with Andre Ward right now. He's got one thing in his mind, and that's working out ways to beat Kovalev. Look, we've got a brilliant schedule now from October through December. I'm very keen that we obviously think 3 or 4 chess moves ahead of ourselves. It's important in boxing that you do that, especially in building out a schedule. Look, if fight fans want to see that, it sounds like that there's a huge amount of interest around Canelo right now. If fight fans want to see him against anyone, we're interested in that fight. So we'll do our homework. We'll look at it, but I don't think any fights are going to be made on the back of a single comment on Twitter. So I'll let that one lie for a while, if you don't mind.
No problem. But first and foremost, good morning and thank you for coming on the show and giving us an opportunity to interview you here in front of our audience. And just being so open and candid every time that you allow me to interview you. I do want to take your attention back to a comment that I've seen, so I want to make sure that it's not taken out of context. But paraphrasing, it was something about Dazn making a stance on no longer overpaying, and it was your quote. If you could just give us a little more context.
Yeah, well, obviously there's the no context turn. I'll give you on context Markowski in relation to that point, if you like. Look, I think we've entered the market 12 months ago. We, like many new entrants in any new industry, have to work out ways of finding our seat at the table, right? And I think in such a mature, such a established market as the US sports broadcasting market, we had to overpay in some cases to make certain things happen. That's a natural sort of market entry premium that we had to swallow. What I'm saying is, I think that now that the market is, understanding our position, understanding our business model, understanding the relationships we've chosen to strike with certain promoters and certain fighters, our door is always open for business. But we see some normality returning to the market in terms of how fights are made, who pays for what in the making of those fights. Because there's been a number of instances where we've had knocks on the door from guys making X money on linear networks and asking us for 10X and refusing to negotiate until we throw a 10X number at them. That's just not sustainable. It's not fair. It's not economic. So what we're saying in these sort of comments is we're going to pay handsomely. We're going to pay fairly to the guys that move the needle subscription-wise on Dazn. And we're in relationships with a number of those guys already. There are a few more out there we'd love to talk to at the right time. But we're gonna focus on the needle moving fights. We're gonna focus on giving guys a fair opportunity to have a crack at defeating those needle moving world champions, the superstars. But we're not going to pay them 5, 6, 7 times what they're usually making elsewhere, just because we're Dazn and we're brand new in the market. We've done that in some instances. We paid more than we would have liked to, but we're clear now on what we want to do. We're clear now on the learnings we've taken after 12 months in the industry in the US, and we're more confident in holding our position on certain negotiation points to move our business forward.
Now, we had the president of the IBO yesterday on that let us know that Gennady Golovkin will be fighting for the IBO in the Derevchenko IBF vacant title fight. But I haven't seen any recognition of that IBO via Dazn on any social media post or anything like that. And I also know through the interview that we had with him yesterday that Derevchenko is not sanctioned to win that fight if he wins. Any reason why you're not using the IBO for, I don't know, like you would any other belt?
What in terms of including it in our promotional materials?
Yeah, like just recognizing it as part of the fight, because it could go.
Oh, we recognize it's there.
I'm sorry, I just wanted to give you a little more context. It could go down as that when AJ unified with Vlad came into the situation with a vacant WBA. He didn't actually have it, but the WBA sanctioned that fight, made it a unification as a. Even though it was a vacant. Similar here. Now we got a vacant IBF, and now the IBO also sanctioning this fight. So it's kind of two titles. But the the IBO is more on the fifth belt sanction, so not everyone recognizes it. And I just wanted to get the zone stance.
No, our stance is that we recognise it. Do we consider it to be the most prestigious? Probably not. But we recognise it. We want to give Gennady an opportunity to put himself back in championship contention. There's a strategy behind that for us. It clearly makes the prospect down the line with a number of guys in the middleweight division for an undisputed fight, all of whom we have a relationship with. So that makes sense for us. It does what it needs to do for us, and I think October the 5th is going to be a bit like the Canelo Kovalev test. It's a significant test for Gennady. We're looking forward to launching our sort of back end of the year schedule with that fight. We're excited about it. The belts are an important part of it for us, and we'll look forward to that fight happening October the 5th.
I'm freezing out my co-host here, but this is my last one before I pass you off. Do you think that was an Eddie Hearn strategy since he's got the partnership with Gennady Golovkin, and he's been saying in the media, like, look, we need to set forth a plan for Gennady where he's not waiting on Canelo. And like you said, belts are an important part of the process. So having Gennady with two titles kind of sends that message to the casual fan. He's been able to do something since the Canelo loss.
No, I think Gennady is someone who is only going to look back on his career and smile if he's winning belts and he's winning championships and he's given the opportunity to become the undisputed middleweight world champion. So, it probably was an interesting point for Eddie and the broader sort of Triple G Promotions team. It's definitely an important part for us because we know that the more belts that a fight carries, the more interested the public is, the more interested the sports fan is, and that's our business model, right? Engaging that fan base. So, it's an important thing for us and Eddie and Gennady, and it works for all of us. So, we're pumped about it. We think it gives him a shot at what we want him to have, but I think he's got to get through a serious test with Derevchenko that is to use a British phrase, it's no walk in the park. So, we'll be watching somewhat nervously come October the 5th, but it's going to be a great night.
Well, let me introduce you to one of my two co-hosts, Michael Gross in Indiana. Talk to us.
How's it going? I'm bad with names, so I'm just call you VP Joe. Is that okay?
That's fine. My surname's not easy to say, so that's fine.
All right. My first question for you is how did the zone come to the conclusion that they will allow this fight with Joshua and Ruiz to go on in Saudi Arabia when we know that it is more lucrative for you guys to get subscribers at 9:00 p.m. than rather at 5:00 p.m.?
Yeah, the simple answer to that is, and Eddie Hearn might not like me saying this, but we don't like the fact it's in Saudi Arabia. It's not our preference. It wasn't what we wanted, and we made a number of offers for that fight to happen on US soil, as you say, at a prime time broadcast hour in a venue that is known and geographically close to the majority of our subscription base. So, we don't like it. The reality is we're not the only consideration for AJ and Matchroom. They've obviously had a significant offer from the Saudi Sports Authority, which you have to respect. They're paying serious dollars to bring that fight to their home country, which is that part of their investment in sport, bringing major sports events to the region. There's been a couple of motorsports events there as well. So they got an offer they couldn't turn down. What I would say, though, is when that fight goes to Saudi Arabia, that the amount of money we pay, the rights fees we pay for that fight, significantly reduce relative to what we would have paid if it had happened at Madison Square Garden or if it had happened at the MGM Grand. So we do have the opportunity to deliver a very, very efficient afternoon of business on December the 7th. The interest in that fight is significant, not just amongst hardcore boxing fans, but amongst a broader sort of sports fan base. I was saying to someone earlier today that there's not many times in a sort of career where, in a period of time where boxing transcends beyond itself. That knockout of a guy like Andy Ruiz knocking out a sort of Greek god world champion of Anthony Joshua, that went viral, right? It went well beyond the hardcore boxing audience. Our highlights alone on YouTube did, I think, 12 million views in the first 2 or 3 days. People were talking about it in the street who don't usually talk about boxing. So the interest in the fight, the interest in the rematch, especially given that it's happened so quickly immediately after the first fight within the same calendar year, is significant, and that makes for great business for us. And given that lower rights fee that we're paying, as I say, could be very, very efficient piece of business for us.
Now, we did hear that other networks and things like that were in contention to get the Joshua and Ruiz rematch. How close were you guys to losing the Joshua and Ruiz rematch?
Not close at all. We have a great relationship with AJ. We have a great relationship with Eddie. Look, there's a process Eddie has to go through to market each of AJ's fights currently in the US. Maybe that will change if AJ gets through December the 7th. We'd love to lock down a longer term deal with AJ, but we're developing a fantastic schedule of fight sports, especially the back end of this year. It would have been stupid of us to let that fight go somewhere else. So we made sure we locked down that deal. I wasn't concerned about losing it. We have, as I say, a great relationship with everyone in that conversation. So no issue there.
Now on November 2nd, you guys will be going, I don't know, head to head, but you guys will be competing with the UFC for that pay-per-view 244. What concerns do you have about subscribership and like viewership when it comes to competing with the UFC on that night?
Very few concerns, actually. Not a major concern at all. First of all, the core thing to say is that the boxing subscriber and fan base, although there is a bit of overlap, is a different fan base to the UFC. Especially when it comes to Canelo, that the audiences don't overlap too much. So that's the first thing to say. The second thing to say is it's Canelo, it's Kovalev, it's the biggest star in boxing in a genuine test. That will massively help us. And then third of all, we're operating on a different time zone, right? We're not going to be on the same time zone as that fight, so I don't see any major concerns there at all. The first 2 points are the key ones, that the audiences are not as overlapping as you would think, and Canelo is the biggest star with respect to any guys fighting on the UFC card that night. He's significantly more interesting. Amount of us, delivering a few audience against it.
And my last question before I pass you on to our other co-host, Alex, is we heard Oscar De La Hoya say that Canelo and Triple G is going to happen in 2020, but we've seen Canelo come out and says that he really doesn't have any interest in the Gennady trilogy. If the fight with Canelo and Gennady does not happen, how does the zone look at that, and do they consider that as a, I don't want to say failure, but a missed opportunity?
Yeah, look, it'll be a real shame. Forget what we think. It'll be a real shame for fight fans if that trilogy fight doesn't happen. Fans want it. The conversation around it is still vibrant, even a year after the most recent fight, the second fight. So it will be a real shame if that doesn't happen. Being candid, for our business, it will be a huge. Again, another night, a bit like that AJ Ruiz night, where boxing would not be watched by just a hardcore boxing audience. It would transcend into the casual audience. So that would be a huge moment for our subscription growth, for our business generally. So we want that fight to happen. We're clear on that, and we'll do everything in our power once we get through November the 2nd to try and make that happen. Now there are a few people that are key stakeholders in that, notably Canelo and Gennady themselves. So there's a few conversations to be had. We'll have those at the right time, but not right now. We're focused on, in Canelo's case, November the 2nd, and from a broader business perspective, what I believe is the strongest schedule in the history of boxing broadcasting ever. From October the 5th through to the end of the year, it's an unbelievable schedule that, we're very, very excited about.
Also, what's the biggest difference have you seen from the zone from when you started to the zone at this point right now?
Sorry, can you repeat the question? I didn't quite catch that.
Since you have started working at the zone, what's the biggest difference or biggest improvement that you have seen working with the zone up until this point?
Yeah. Well, I joined what is now the zone when I was 21 years old, so I can now grow facial hair. That's a big growth area for me. But from a business perspective, look, I mean, we've learned a hell of a lot in the last 12 months. First of all, we've learned that our initial view on the US market was right, that the pay-per-view audience was a good proxy for building a subscription business. What I mean by that is there's a fan base there who are willing to pay for great content, and they are wanting to see more of it. So we've learned that was the right read of the market, which is obviously a good thing. We've learned that scheduling fights can be, in some cases, pretty hard work. It's taken us longer than we would have liked to make the back end of the year schedule, but we've learned a hell of a lot in that time, and we've educated our partners, I think, about what's important for our business. So that's great. And we've also learned that there's a huge growth potential in boxing. There's a huge opportunity as a business if we make the right moves and invest in the right way, significantly grow the number of people who are interested in talking about and watching boxing. We're eating into that new audience already. So things like KSI and Logan Paul, although I'm sure some of you might not like that, we're very excited about, because it's one of the few tactics we'll use to grow the size of the boxing audience. So we're excited about all of those things, and we're learning and adapting very, very quickly in the US. So it's an exciting time for us.
Joe, so obviously I have Xfinity One cable service here in the tri-state area of New Jersey, and DAZN seems to have struck a new deal with them. Now, Xfinity already carries dozens of apps, so I just wanted to know, is this now going to be included in a premium cable subscribers existing package, or is this just the ability to use the app on the television set?
Exactly. So it's a second. We've launched DAZN on the Comcast Xfinity platform, which means that it sounds like you're a subscriber to Comcast. Yes. Using your set-top box, you'll be able to I'm assuming you've already downloaded Dazn, but download Dazn on that service and consume the service on that platform. It's not been baked into a bundle; it's just integrated to their platform. That's important for us because that set-top box, that environment, is in tens of millions of US households. It's the biggest distribution platform. They're going to support our major fights with top-level marketing on the platform. So in simple terms, when you turn on your television on Saturday night in New Jersey on, let's say, November the 2nd or November the 9th or December the 7th, front and center of your user experience will be Dazn advertising about the fights we're shortly to broadcast. So a bit like you would have seen with pay-per-view marketing not too long ago when pay-per-view had big fights in the US, which they're increasingly not having. We'll be front and center there, and that's important for us to obviously introduce these big fights to, again, a bigger and bigger audience. So a bit like KSI and Logan Paul, it's all about introducing our service, introducing our fight schedule to as big an audience as possible.
Now, according to World Boxing News, ahead of your 1-year anniversary of obviously the United States launch of Dazn, you guys have become the #1 sports app on the planet in terms of worldwide revenue. You want to give us any more context onto that?
No, you said it exactly like it is. It's an independent piece of research. I think it's put out by a research agency earlier this week that we, by their estimation, are the #1 grossing sports broadcast app or sports app worldwide. That's great for us. It's obviously we know the numbers behind it. We're not gonna tell anyone those quite yet, but we are. It's testament to how fast we've grown and how quickly we've built a really successful business in a number of countries worldwide. And that's a key thing to stress. Unlike many of our competitors and friends in the US, we are an international business. We have huge businesses in Japan and in Germany, Austria and Switzerland and in Canada and Italy and in Spain. So US is a big part of it, but it's only one part of it, and that's obviously a great strength for us.
Now, having all these territories, does it become difficult when making negotiations with fighters that used to be former pay-per-view stars or that feel that they would get different checks from different countries due to television deals? Like Canelo and Televisa, or even Ruiz, maybe now getting a Mexican television deal, but maybe DAZN offers something over there, or vice versa in countries that do have DAZN.
Wherever we make an offer for a market, we pay fair market rate for that market. So if we were hypothetically to add Mexico or Guatemala or any country in the world to any deal we make with a rights holder or a fighter, we'll always pay incremental money to buy those rights, a new set of rights. So it doesn't make it harder, no, because we pay fairly for it. But look, we're in 9 markets right now. We're going to launch many more in the next 12 months. We've got ambitions to be in 20 markets by the end of 2020. So you'll see us launch a number of new markets in the next 12 months. And look, that's exciting for everyone involved. It makes it's not just boxing; it's many sports, but it's good for the health of boxing if we can globally, a bit like we're trying to do in the US, grow the audience watching boxing based on our investment and our growing audience. That's only a good thing for sports fans, only a good thing for fighters, only a good thing for the health of boxing generally. So, it's exciting, and we're going to continue to invest in it.
What's your thoughts on Bob Arum's verbal bashing of DAZN, and can you give me some sort of comparison to ESPN, being as though John Skipper is former ESPN, and it seems like you guys have a mindset into the whole sports streaming. I just want to know, do you consider ESPN a competitor, and how do you feel about Bob's, verbal bashing?
Personally, I don't know Bob personally, but I love him. I always have done. He's great. He's a great entertainer. He's a great promoter. Obviously a legend. So I've got nothing but respect for Bob Arum, regardless of what he said recently about DAZN or about Eddie Hearn. I find it quite entertaining, actually. Look, you're right. Look, we're firmly established in boxing. I don't consider ESPN a direct competitor. That's my personal opinion. I think our biggest competitors right now is pay-per-view boxing. The sort of set up around pay-per-view boxing, because right now our service is predominantly a boxing-led service. We're going to invest in other content beyond boxing, or we already have done with our MLB package, but we're going to keep doing that to broaden our offering. But look, right now we're not a proper multi-sport broadcaster yet in the US. We're very focused on boxing and fight sports, and as a result, our main competitor, as I see it, is pay-per-view boxing, the sort of legacy model that boxing employed that I don't think is very good for the health of boxing. It reduces the audience, it restricts the audience, and over 30 years that's been bad for boxing. So that's what we're competing against, that's what we're trying to change, and that's my main focus right now.
Well, Joe Ming, I don't want to take too much more of your time. So I do want to thank you for coming on. I see that my co-host has one more, though.
Yeah, I have one last question. I was listening about the international business plan. I want to know, what I'm saying, since we got a lot of listeners over in the UK, when is DAZN coming to the United Kingdom?
They got to wait for Eddie's contract to finish with Sky before they do the takeover.
Are you Joe? Are you the vice president?
It's certain things he could say and he can't say. I got to talk for him, right, Joe?
I didn't realise you were my PR guy. Listen, it's a job for you when you want it with us. Look, we're looking at a number of markets, countries worldwide. Look, we're a British business. I'm a British guy. Our headquarters are in London. We'd love to be in the UK one day. We chose not to launch in the UK thus far because there's a really well-established two broadcast setup in the US. There's Sky Sports and there's BT Sport, and they've invested heavily recently in content, including in boxing. Obviously, Sky's deal with Eddie is a big one. It made market entry very expensive, but we'll always keep an eye on the big sports markets to work out ways of launching. No plan specifically right now in the UK, but Joe, longer term, we've absolutely got ambitions to do it. So let's see what happens.
Well, Joe, I want to thank you again. I hope you enjoy the rest of your morning, and let's make this a regular thing. Thank you. Give out any social media you want to at this time if you're interested in people following you, and thanks again.
Yeah, follow Dazn USA. Follow me if you want to. It's mainly boxing schedule tweets and tweets about cricket. So if you're interested in either of those things, give me a follow. But yeah, guys, thanks very much, and we'll see you soon.
All right, Joe, thank you. There you have it. EVP of DAZN, Joe Mark Krosky. Great guy. Definitely happy that he was able to take out the time to come on the show and talk a little boxing with us and give us a little clarity, obviously, on a lot of things. Listen, DAZN doing a lot of big things. I love that they partnered with Xfinity because let me tell you, it was an issue. It was an issue for me. Luckily, I got 2 Android TVs, so DAZN comes on Android TVs already. But my Bravia, I believe, is Bravia, right? I don't know. That wasn't. And, I had to stream it from my phone, which isn't a big deal. But imagine the people that don't. Like my dad and them, they ain't streaming off phones. They still not doing that. So that would be great for Xfinity users. And like he says, tens of millions of subscribers. That it opens up the door to, because it doesn't make it any free. But what I was reading from the other article is for guys like Mike that just pay for internet or internet packages, they lowered the price by $5, but that's only for Xfinity. It's called the Flex. Have you heard of that, Mike? Do you got Xfinity over there? What you got?
Xfinity, yeah. I know about the Flex.
Yeah, so they lowered that by $5. Comcast drops $5 monthly fee for Xfinity Flex video streaming set-top box broadcasts, custom band, something like that. But yeah, so that works. But you heard what he said, right? He said we're interested in whatever brings in the subscribers and whatever the boxing public wants. So the Ward Canelo can be a thing, or Ward trilogy with Kovalev if he beats Canelo. Now, for Canelo, because he continues this stance that he doesn't want the Triple G fight, he's got to produce. And it has to be big events like this, because for Dazn, they're like, look, man, we know the numbers on Canelo Triple G. We seen what it did. And analytics tell us what it could possibly do for us. So if you're not giving us that, you got to give us big fights like Canelo Kovalev. So what do you think is next? Hypothetically, he beats Kovalev. What's next for Canelo? Does he? Obviously, he could probably go back down the route of a soft touch, and that's okay. At this level, another Liam Smith to get a rest, then come back. But what do you think is his next super fight? Do you think Dazn forces him into the Triple G? Is it Andre? Do they send a bigger offer, get Charlo to cross the street? Does he stay at 75? Is it Gilberto with Bob? They've been doing a lot of business with Bob, all Mexican affair. Because no, that isn't a dangerous fight in the eyes of the fans, but it's a Mexican affair for Dazn. Maybe like, yeah, that's a big fight. I don't know. What do you think? I mean, even Jacobs, if Jacobs loses to Chavez, oh my God, that would probably be the best thing for Dazn. Canelo, Julio Cesar Chavez Jr., the rematch, because Jacobs lost to Chavez, which I don't think it could happen, but again, from a broadcaster standpoint, maybe all those make sense.
Honestly, man, it's the ball is in Canelo court, man. I don't know, man, because I don't know whether he's going to want to fight at 168 to defend that title, or if he beats Kovalev 175, 160. The biggest fight, in my opinion, it may be the Triple G fight, but then again, I mean, I don't know. Like, he could pull a rabbit out of the hat and say he's fighting David Benavidez, you know, somebody like that. If they send an offer over to PBC, they'd be a fool not to let David Benavidez go. So I mean, I don't know, man.
Damn, you think it would be smarter, Canelo, to take Benavidez this young, like Floyd did him, like, or is it better to wait? Because Benavidez looks like explosive young.
Yeah, but you want to wait till he get shit too good for. I mean, I don't know. I just think that David's gonna get better and better. So you got to do him right, man. The blueprint is like you always say. The blueprint is there. The blueprint is there.
I think Jermell would be a fight that would interest a lot of people. A lot of people have been interested in that fight for a long time. Jermell's been kind of out of the picture, hasn't been active. So I mean, if I was in Canelo's team, I would definitely look at that, you know, not cherry picking, but picking my opponents strategically.
I mean, he has been active. That's the thing. He ain't fighting the people that garner the attention, so you didn't even know he fought. But he fought Brandon Adams, and he's might be fighting Dennis Hogan. Both of those are 54-pounders. But that's the thing. Because you've forgotten them, how is it a big fight? Like, that's why I say these guys got to do something so they can be on that level.
Well, yeah. I didn't even see that last fight with Brian Adams. You're right. I didn't.
Telling you, bro. Because when you fight, and I'm not disrespecting nobody, but when you fight dudes that the public
doesn't really know,
they're not feeling like that. Like, they're gonna forget them. They're gonna forget them or not even pay attention. You know, and it sucks because you did an 8-week training camp, champ. Like, don't blame us. You did an 8-week training camp, but yo, it's the guy you fought wasn't memorable. He wasn't
memorable. Dance partner wasn't the right one.
You know? And shout out to Brandon Adams. Like, he did what he had to do to get to that point. He went through the contender. He fought some decent opposition, but it was still asking a lot. He was a short dude. He lost to Willie Monroe on Boxino. Like, you know, it was asking a lot.
Let's not also forget that Brandon Adams also had a option for that fight. He could either fought Triple G or he could have fought Jamal Charlo.
Man, and he probably would have done better with Triple G, but he probably would have got knocked out with Triple G. You know what I'm saying? But Triple G being older, you know, maybe he had a little bit more success. But, you know, when he would have got caught, maybe he would have been out because, you know, his power is there, man. What you mean? What you mean we chose not to pay? We probably even did a live fight chat for that shit, right, Mike? Yo, he trying to play us.
I was in the hospital that day.
Well,
So.
we definitely reported on that fight. We do a show every Thursday and every Sunday for the last fucking, I don't know how many years, bro. You're insane. That's the hatred in you. We report on everything. We did a report on fucking Kid Galahad, man, the other day. So get out of here. But anyway, looks like you guys ain't got nothing else for this. Should I go out to the callers?
Yeah, I mean,
y'all down today, man. Y'all mad y'all ain't on the other Skype, man. I get it.
I'm just getting over a cold, man. But yo, it's look, Canelo Alvarez is on his way up in weight. I don't see him ever going back down to 154 or any of those weights anymore. I think for a good dance partner, we would have to look at 160, between 160 and 175. And those.
Why we didn't ask that question, bro? Why we didn't ask Joe about Charlo Andre fighting each other?
Yeah, they never fight each other. Jacobs too, right? They were supposed to fight Jamal. There's some good fights there should have been made just off of clout, just off of the beefs that we've seen in the internet. And if you're going with the KSI and Logan Paul formula, these are the things that get the crowd bumping. You know, Jamal,
Yo, check this out. Dazn got the Boxing Voice on payroll. I thought Al was paying us, man. Come on. We got a Jacobs deal. Hey, Mike, we got a Jacobs deal. We advised by Al, but we work for Dazn. I love it.
Make up your mind, man.
when they disagree, they always say somebody paying us, so it's all good.
Come on, man. Let's go out to the callers. Blanc, I cut you off. My bad.
No, it's all good. I was just saying the same. You know, you're gonna have to look for a dance partner within those weight divisions, and you know, Canelo's only looking for the big fights, the fights that are gonna garner a lot of attention and a lot of money. So we just have to sit back and think what fight is gonna garner that attention and that money and that interest in Canelo Alvarez. Mike mentioned the Triple G fight.
If you Canelo, do you send that offer to Errol Spence if he beats Sean Porter?
But that's 147. That's 147, Mike. I don't see Canelo going back down.
No, bro.
I'm not going back down. I'm going to 160.
Alex, you crazy. You keep saying Canelo. I don't see Canelo going to 54. I don't see him going to 47. Canelo's the A side, bro. You come to him.
So what? So what? He tells Earl to come up?
What the fuck? Of course, man. Takeover just did 400 pay-per-views, man. 400,000. Come on, dog.
I see better probability of Earl taking the Canelo fight than I see Manny Pacquiao taking the Earl fight.
Hell yeah. Earl
so you think Earl
already said he want the smoke, but this where the conversation gets crazy to me, right? Because then everybody gives Earl a shot at Canelo, but the Crawford haters will say that Crawford can't fight Canelo. Crawford got a tweet that I found yesterday that he like, oh, y'all telling me to move up to fight Canelo. That's 3 weight divisions. And it's like, wait a minute, but everybody's cool with Earl moving up to fight Canelo, and everybody thinks you would beat Earl. So why you ain't in the same conversation? Why you don't put yourself in the same conversation? Why you ain't like Earl saying, yeah, you will fight Canelo? It just seems real weird to me. Like, how could people think he'll beat Earl, but he can't fight Canelo? But then people, then the same people, then the same people that think Crawford would beat Earl turn around and say Earl would beat Canelo if he moved up.
Yeah, I'm one of those people. Just like Floyd didn't go up and fight Triple G. Sometimes, man, you got to stop. You got to know where your limit is. When you're one of these fighters who start from a smaller weight division, then you come about going all the way up from 135 to middleweight. It's not feasible. But we all know Earl. We all see Earl outside of the fucking ring. We all know what he does in camp to get down to 147. We all know that 147 is most likely his first and not going to be his only weight division. So he's probably going to move up. I think Terrence Crawford is probably tapped out at 147. Maybe the right 154-pounder. No J. Rock Williams, he's too big. No Jerry Hurd, he's too big. No Jamel Charlo, I think he's too big too. I think Laurie is even too big.
Damn, those are all dudes they've already mentioned versus Earl. Like, Julian Williams has already come out saying he'll fight Earl.
God, did you not hear my first statement, bro? We all know Earl's going to be moving up. Crawford can make 147 for the rest of his damn career, man. He don't have to move up. He's not sucking down to make the weight. You see him when he's out, he's probably like 160. Earl is like 177, 180. That's all I'm saying.
All right. Any final thoughts from you?
Yeah, no. Earl's on his way up, like Mike said, and that's true. But the people that are around Earl are they rushing him into a Canelo fight? Is if he loses, does that put a damper on the investment?
Hell,
you know what I'm saying?
No. If he loses, it's like fucking when Canelo lost to Floyd. Dog, you getting a shot at the most big time exposure there is. The issue is gonna be, will they be willing to do a cross promotion? Which there's really no way of doing one, because one is an app and the other is terrestrial television, because Earl got to deal with they Fox loves him over there. So so it's real it's going to be one of those, the bag going to be so big it's got to come in on a shipping yard. I'm telling you, because you got to get Earl to leave Fox for one fight plus a rematch clause if he wins. Because Canelo going to want a rematch if Earl wins, but he ain't getting no it's one-way rematch. One-way rematch. But for Earl, I don't know what he taking, because he didn't take the Cotto fight. Like, he and guys like Crawford, they believe they, and even Deontay, they believe they could create their own legacy. They don't feel they need yesterday's legends to make their name. So, he might say no. He might say no, even though Canelo ain't considered an old legend. Canelo's a future legend. He only 29. Like, that would be a prime. How old is? I'm gonna check Earl's age, bro. How old is Earl? They might be the same age, man.
I think they're around the same age. Maybe Earl look a little bit younger.
I think Earl might be 28. That's my guess.
No, you're right.
Well, he's 28.
Think so. Last time I checked.
I'm googling now. Hold on.
If you listen right now on YouTube, go ahead and smash that thumbs up
29.
button.
Damn, so he the same age as Canelito. Bro, oh my God, yo. Yo, that's crazy, man. Back in the day, the argument used to be, was it right that Canelo started so early? I'm wondering now, maybe should do, especially with no headgear, guys, right? Like, yo, Doomy, you had amateur fights. Like, now that there's no headgear in the amateurs, and look, Mauricio Suleiman just tweeted out that 6-0 pro heavyweight from Russia knocking out the poor amateur kid from the USA, and it's like, bro, they just two different levels. You got a pro in there with an amateur. I think I'm going to do, like, my son wants to fight. I don't think you need a long amateur career, man, because you taking miles off yourself now with this no headgear shit. I might do what Vito did, what a lot of these kids are doing, if my son, or theoretically, because he ain't beat the fight.
You know what it is? That's only certain AIBA tournaments. That's the WBS, World Boxing Series tournaments that I think a couple of years ago they decided to go ahead and take the headgear off and use those sort of pro rules. I don't know. It's a 3-round fight. And much respect to Richard Torres Jr. because he is he's a credible fighter. Shit happens. You get caught in the button, you're getting knocked out. And that's what happened to him. He got touched right on the chin by a good solid shot. I don't know if the pro experience that the Uzbekistan fighter had really played into the knockout like that. Richard Torres had just recently beat a Cuban for I forget the name of the tournament or the championship tournament that he won, but he beat some credible guys in the amateur division, and just because he got knocked out doesn't mean that he should be looked at as less in competition because this guy had 6 pro fights.
No, it wasn't that he was less. It's just that Mauricio Suleiman was saying it wasn't safe for a pro who's already experienced in fighting with no headgear to be facing an amateur with no experience fighting without headgear. The levels of experience was unfair, and that's why he got knocked out.
I mean, it's not the first. It's not the first
anyway,
fight
let me
that
interrupt you
Richard
one more time to say, like I told Mike yesterday, that's just my interpretation of Mauricio Suleiman's post. Actually, that's not what he meant, right? That's my interpretation of it. Go check it out yourself on his social media.
But you know what? In the end, like my personal opinion on that, I think that if it's amateur, it should have stayed amateur. I think there's some pros that can have even more fights and come back and represent their country in this in these tournaments, and that does start having a bit of a gap in experience without headgear. Richard Torres had fought before without headgear, so it's not like he hadn't done it. But I mean, if you wanna just talk about plain Jane, there has to be a separation from amateur and professional. That's just my personal opinion. I think that the headgear and all that other stuff should have stayed. I don't know what was the exact reason for the IABA to transfer over to no headgear. And they do fight with, I believe, 12-ounce gloves.
I mean, I believe when I was following it, because this was something that was set into motion, or they were trying, much like all laws, they were trying to put it in motion. I think it was meant to bring more entertainment, obviously. You know what I mean? Entertainment value, get more people to watch it and stuff like that. But let's jump out to these callers. We got a few. I'm going to go out to our sponsors.
Remember to rate us 5 stars on iTunes.
It is hard to continue developing new content and covering the sport as thorough as we do without contributions from loyal listeners like you. If you enjoyed listening to the Boxing Voice Radio and find it informative and entertaining, please consider making a donation.
These calls are brought to you by El Camino Electrical Services, experts in electric vehicle charging stations. For consultations and turnkey installation, visit us at elcaminoelectricalservices.com.
Seattle Zone Boomeranger.
Mr. PBC, baby.
BoxingVoice.com.
I'm the flyest. Canelo talking about he believe he can win. Go to my kitchen. Get the sharpest knife. Cut the bullshit up. I don't care what you do good. I do every fucking thing great.
Mr. PBC, baby.
Yeah, what's good? This is Mr. PBC, Mr. Last Time I Checked. And I think, Canelo is, the best on Dazn when it comes to Dazn. And I think he's doing real good, and he's getting his paper, man. Like, that Kovalev fight, it's Russian against a Mexican, man. It's Mexican style versus Russian straightforward. But I really think Kovalev is going to win because of his jab. He's very resilient. He'll keep on coming at you. And we all know that Canelo's not good with the jab. Floyd Mayweather beat him with the jab. And his head starts bouncing backwards when people keep on coming at him with the jab. But Kovalev's weak to the body, so it's just a 50-50 fight. But I'm not going to watch it on Dazn. I'll probably call you, hit up you guys,
You gonna FaceTime somebody?
And who, me?
Yeah, you say you ain't gonna watch it on Dazn, so you gonna FaceTime them?
No, I'm gonna watch you guys. Come on, I'll pay you guys to watch. Shit, you guys are supposed to keep the content high and shit, so I gotta watch you guys.
Respect that.
Are you gonna give Barack today?
I didn't reschedule. We talked. He was on the line yesterday. It was Blog Talk that was down. He said, we couldn't hear him. But, we just got to reschedule, just like all the other interviews, bro. We got to reschedule, man. Luckily, the lines are up today. We got Joe earlier today, VP of Dazn. I know you're not totally into that, but, yeah, man, we working.
I'm not. Cut it. He's just like a name.
Cut it. We got Mike in Michigan. Talk to me.
What's going on, Mike?
Not much. I was thinking about the Andre Ward, because I went to the Andre Ward and first Kovalev fight, and I think it would be a big move if Andre Ward could come back and fight Canelo. I think that would be really huge, and it would be a big money fight. Because when he retired, I really didn't like all the other light heavyweights. Besides Arturo Beterbiev, I kind of wanted to see that one because I think he's a good fighter. I ain't really big on that Bivol guy, but if he can get Triple G or Canelo, I think that'd be a real good fight. And I think that'd be a good fight. Hopefully he's coming back, but he might just be commentating, or like you said, Ness, it might be the he's trying to come back. And then, but I got the Dazn. I've been with the Dazn since May. I bought the $100 for the whole year, so I'm glad they're getting some better fights.
I just wish Demetrius Andre could get some better fights because he just left in the dark. He ain't getting shit, it looked like. Triple G won't fight him. I feel sorry for Demetrius Andre.
Why he don't move up to fight Jacobs?
Yeah, that'd be a good fight too. But I don't think Jacobs will fight him though.
Billy Joe Saunders at 68.
Yeah, I like Billy Joe.
And I'm just talking about dudes
but
on that
he's
side
still at
of the street.
160. Demetrius. Yeah, but Demetrius still at 160. I don't see him moving up right now. But I like David Benavidez. I think he's the next.
That's my point, though, Mike. In Michigan, like, same thing Eddie told Triple G. Now, why could he do that for Triple G? Why could he make a plan for Triple G? Why he could tell Triple G, yo, we ain't going to worry about Canelo. We going to make our own plan. Well, make your own role for Andre. Because the dudes you got Andre fighting, that ain't helping him, man. And he ain't happy. I uploaded a video that Daniel did with Andre. I got to just publish it. Like, he not happy. You know? He feel people ducking him. We going out to CYP. Talk to me.
Yo, what up? What up? Let me get my motto. If you don't want to fight, watch what you type. Let me cook. Now, I'm a little upset, man. I'm a little upset, as always. But this is what we're going to do. There are certain fighters who are not afraid of anything. They believe they could win. When I'm saying these guys, these are Crawford, it's Earl Spence, this is Charlo. These three dudes are all between 29 and 30 years old. All between 29 and 30. When they call out people and say they want them, they do want them. They do believe they could win. Nobody is afraid of Canelo. These dudes want this man because they believe they could beat him. When it comes to these elite black fighters, there is no win-win situations for them. The last time a black fighter had a win-win situation was Adrian Broner when he moved up to Maidana. Motherfuckers gave him no credit for that. They killed him and they still clown him for that L he took. Why the fuck couldn't he get a win-win? Well, he's bigger. Well, it's okay you moved up. Nope, they don't give black fighters that credence. When they move up, these motherfuckers believe they could win because they thought that Adrian Broner could beat Maidana because that's how it is when black fighters challenge somebody. Errol Spence believes he can beat Canelo. Charlo believes he can beat Canelo. Fuck all of that. They do not, it ain't no win-win. It ain't no well, it's a big payday. That's not how they think. They actually believe they can beat this man. Get the fight popping. Let's get it popping. Stop all that bullshit because you have fought lesser opponents with lesser followings for lesser money, for lesser belts. Let's cut that bullshit. They all the same age. No way in hell a dude who's the same age as me, I'm going to sit there and be like, well, if he beats me, it's cool because he's more famous. Hell no. Like, I got to live with this dude side by side, step by step, career through career, same age.
I don't got nothing to disagree except that Broner fought Paulie Malignaggi before Maidana. So he didn't do what Mikey did. He did that when he fought Paulie, moved up 2 weight divisions. So when he was at 47, he had one fight before the Maidana fight. That fight was supposed to be pay-per-view too, man. Rumored pay-per-view, and then Showtime ended up putting on, you know. And he's kind of right. People dog Broner for that shit, even though he fought hard, bro. Maidana's on record saying that Broner hit him the hardest. Hardest. We got Donald, Richmond, California.
What up, Donald?
What's going on? I didn't really hear all of the beginning of the show, but I just seen the subject. I don't think that that if Spence goes up, Spence is not going to beat Canelo. It's going to be kind of the same scenario as in Thurman and Pacquiao. Spence is just going to move up to get that bag to sell his oath, and then he's going to take that L, and then we have to see where he goes from there. Now, the thing about Ward and stuff, I mean, come on now. We all know Canelo is not going to fight Ward. I really want y'all to play some quacks right now for that, because we know that Canelo is not going to fight Ward. And if Canelo ever considered fighting Ward, like, how would he do Ward? Oh, we got to do a catch weight at 162 and a 5-pound rehydration clause. He'll fucking drain Ward so bad, Ward probably fucking pass out in the ring, Canelo is going to handicap the toughest fights, and if you don't really think that he can handicap you and beat you, he ain't gonna fight you at all. I'm hoping that Kovalev beats Canelo, so Canelo could stop that cherry picking shit, stop, picking people that he always sees, a weakness in. Like, I just want Canelo for once to get in a real fight that I think he might lose. I mean, Kovalev is the closest thing that I've seen him go into that is very possible he could lose. But is there a rehydration clause on that? Because I know WBO wouldn't sanction it unless it was at 175. But is there a 10-pound rehydration clause?
Cut it. That's not a question.
There is none.
According to Mike and Ness, maybe not. But as of right now, nothing's been out in the news solidly.
Yo, man. The hate is real for the boy Nello.
A lot of people saying that Spence beats Canelo, but ask yourself this, like, would Canelo have stopped Mikey? You know what I mean?
But that don't mean nothing though. That don't mean nothing. But that's funny. Of course he would have stopped Mikey. Yo, I remember, right, when people said Canelo wouldn't fight Cotto. And then Trout beat Cotto and he fought Trout. Then people said he wouldn't fight Mayweather. That he was just saying he was sucked down. He ain't really mean it. And then he fought Mayweather. Then they said he was ducking Laura. And Laura said he was ducking him. And Laura got on the post-fight for the Angulo, grabbed the mic out his hand, like, stop fucking ducking me. Let's get it on. And Canelo gave him what he wanted when we thought he wouldn't. Then we said he wouldn't fight Cotto and he fought Cotto. Then Gennady, and he fought him twice. Then we said it was Jacobs that he wouldn't fight and he fought him too. When we gonna stop saying Canelo won't fight guys? I'm just saying, when are we gonna stop saying that? That sounds like we can't name another fighter that's active that's fought that many people that we wanted him to fight. Like, we wanted Laura. We wanted Floyd. Like, those are pay-per-view fights. The numbers are different, but we wanted them. Pay-per-view indicated that. Gennady, we wanted it. Pay-per-view indicated that. Look at Jacob's purse. We wanted it. Like, I don't understand why. Going out to Texas, man. Let's go to Texas. Actually, we got a mastermind. NO, good morning.
What up, NO?
Hey, what's good, bro? How my audio sound, man?
Good, homie.
You right. Tight and right. Yeah. As Info Joe would say, tight and right.
Yeah, he did. But, like, I got to give Canelo his props, dog. He took the fight that we wanted him to take, Ness. He fought Laura. I felt like he lost to Laura. He fought Trout. That was a questionable fight, right? You could have gave it to Trout. You did. He fought Cotto. He beat Cotto. The first Triple G fight, I had Triple G winning, bro.
But we said
he fought the fights. He fought the fights.
Exactly. We said he was ducking Triple G. He gave you two. Like he doing it, bro. He fighting the dudes we want, and he a little dude. I met him. I stood next. I'm 6'5".
Whoa. Nah, I'm not about to let you do that, Ness, bro.
What? He not small? He not small?
Hey, height. You talking about height-wise, bro.
Hell yeah, height-wise.
Like
he 5'8", man. He 5'8". That's Tim Bradley size, champ.
But he built like a tank.
So is Bradley. Bradley look builter, if that's a fucking word.
All right, now tell me if Canelo was a taller fighter, would he be able to take them shots that he be taking? He ain't got no neck, Ness. That's how he able to take them shots, bro. He don't have no neck, man. You dig?
Bruh.
If you had a neck, Ness, if you had a neck like that, you might get take a Wilder punch, bro.
Bradley's 5'6".
Let's keep it real.
Damn, Bradley short. He 5'6". I had to double check because I know somebody was about to murder me.
Then they saying the same thing about Sean Porter. Now they saying Sean Porter, a little guy. Now he started his career at 168, man. But he a little guy, you dig? Man, I don't buy the bullshit, bro. You know what I'm saying? Everybody cutting weight.
No.
Everybody.
I got to
What's
cut
up?
you off before you run out of your own time, man. Listen, what do you think about Ward and this situation? The situation is obviously him looking at, Kovalev and Canelo taking selfies together, and he's like, oh, we taking selfies with opponents now? Okay, bet. So I'm saying, is Ward hating, or is Ward setting up the comeback to fight the winner for the big baggy bag?
I think Wall ain't coming back for the winner. Wall heating on everybody that's not with ESPN, and he want the bag with the Canelo fight. If Canelo be cool with that.
Yes! Hit that boomerang, Sam. Hit that boomerang. But I ain't gonna say I agree, because sometimes I feel like Ward hating, but sometimes he be straight on the money too, right? So it's like kind of hard. Let me see what we got. Masterminds down this way. All right, we going to Texas.
BoxingVoice.com.
You invited him to the ring? Why?
Yo lo invité a que subiera. Como decimos en México, hay que dejarnos de mamadas. ¡Viva México!
And like we say in Mexico, we don't fuck around.
BoxingVoice.com.
Yo, what up? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
What's going on, TBV? Good morning, Mike. Do me. Ness. Shout out to y'all for getting me through my workday, man. I just wanted to say that real quick. And, man, I was going to tag y'all in some shit this morning because I seen it on Instagram. And it's like, the theory was like Canelo taking out all the people he sparred and took pictures with when he was younger. And it showed like Cotto and Chavez Jr. and Triple G and Kovalev. And I was like, oh, damn, that's fucking crazy if that shit were to be true. He's just taking out everybody he met when he was younger and just like, imagine him setting them up on a wall or a table somewhere. That's the next motherfucker I want to take on, But, again, shout out to y'all, man. Getting me through my work day, man. That's my call.
Appreciate it, Matt, man. Every time you say getting you through your work day, man, I appreciate it, because I was definitely a dude that needed that audio consumption throughout the day, man, to get me through my work day. So definitely glad that we're touching everybody appropriately. Listen, makes a good point. We got someone, and I'm stalling here, Mike. I'm stalling. I need your help. Where are you? Where's my co-host, for God's sakes? They still leave me mute.
Then you start telling the story and shit. I'm like, okay, I'm about to listen to the story. Then you bring me into it. Like, I don't know the story.
What story?
I needed y'all help, man. Y'all left me alone, man. Hold on. This is what I was stalling for this.
Dollar D Beyonce Productions.
J Hardcore Boxing.
You don't know shit about boxing.
BoxingVoice.com.
What up?
Yo, what's up, my family? How y'all doing?
Jay, what up, man? Why you be staying away so long, man? Oh, you got a new job, you said, right?
Hey, yeah, man, I got 2 kids in college, one in Utah and another one in American University, boy. So they busted my ass, so I had to get back out here and grind. Huh?
Said in Utah?
Hello? Yeah, man, he had to go to he had to go to Utah to Snow College. Because he in JUCO now. He fucked up in the regular school. So, yeah, he out in Utah now. So, yeah, man. So, I had to get back out there and get on the grind. And my daughter, she in law school, so they put daddy back out in the pastures and shit. Yeah. So, during the time that you all be, doing your shit, man, I be listening, but I just can't call in and shit. So, I'm up on everything y'all doing, and y'all doing a hell of a job, man. So I definitely want to commend y'all, man. Y'all big ups to all y'all, man. And, keep up the great work. Going into Ward, man. Do y'all remember when Ward said that he had some type of insurance project right now where he got hurt in his last fight, and the insurance company supposed to been paying him? So that's the reason why he said that he ain't back in boxing yet. So they was working on a lawsuit against the insurance company. So I don't know if he just, I don't know if he got that suit laid down, and that's why he talking smack. But he also was in an interview, and they said if Canelo won, would he call you out? And he was like, nah, he wouldn't do that. He wouldn't do that, like making it sound like, he know better than doing stuff like that.
Yeah.
But I mean, so
I'm telling you,
I
I
don't
think
know.
he's
That's like
setting it
almost
up,
clickbaiting right there.
Yeah, I think he's setting it up,
because he
man.
feel though he could beat both of them.
For sure.
Yeah, I truly believe that, man. And I'm gonna be honest, man. You gotta give Canelo his props, but then you gotta man, because it seems like he always grab a person after something. You know what I mean? Like, okay, Cotto was just about out the pasture.
Yo,
Trout.
listen. If Cotto was out the pasture, he still offered his services to Earl. Earl could have done it, right? He offered his services to Earl.
Yeah, Earl could have done it, but
Danny,
but that's classic Cotto. That's classic Canelo. He always brings somebody up from a lower division to fight him.
But that's what I'm saying.
Why don't he fight somebody that's 29 years old just like him?
But Cotto gave that opportunity. That's what I'm saying. Even after Canelo
but Cotto was the money. He was passing the torch. Yeah, and he was passing the torch.
And people ain't take it. That's
because
what I'm saying. Like,
it was attached with a deal. They didn't want to take the deal. They wanted to fight. It just wanted the deal that came along with Golden Boy that they wanted.
And Mike, and I understand that, but guess who took the deal? Canelo. Canelo took the deal. No, Canelo took the deal from the beginning. He signed with Golden Boy. He's been following their lead. He's been doing what they asked until he started driving his own car. You know, people say, yo, Canelo fought people, but there's asterisk attached to it, right? He fought Jacobs, but 10-pound rehydration clause. He fought Gennady. Was there anything weird, fishy? What are the other fishy fights, Mike?
I just know about the fight with Rocky Fielding. They had a rehydration clause.
Okay.
Daniel Jacobs, I believe, had a rehydration clause too, because Daniel Jacobs said, I know Canelo side said that there wasn't one, but Jacobs side said there were. And with Gennady, I don't think anything was fishy because the first fight, Gennady was a champion and shit. So I don't think anything was fishy in that fight. And y'all asking like the wrong guy, because you guys got more history than I do with as far as the Cottos and the Trouts of the world go, and the lawyer.
I mean,
how about
Julio
the
Cesar?
I'm sorry, go ahead, Dom.
No. I'm pretty sure Julio Cesar Chavez Jr. too had a rehydration.
That was a catch weight.
Catch weight, 164.
164.5. Because I know that he might have had a little trouble, Cesar Chavez Jr. on making that.
Seen him doing a fucking weigh-in. He was.
Yeah, but that one don't matter. That don't matter because we didn't want that. Just like Khan, we didn't want that. That's not.
As fucking Chavez Jr. got through the whole fight. That was surprising me.
I'm just saying, right? So he got two catch weights. I mean, two rehydration fights, and then he got a few catch weights. He fought at 155 a few times, right?
Yeah, I was hearing about that. It's called Canelo weight.
Yes.
That's for people.
He fought Amir Khan at 155, Miguel Cotto at 155, but that was Miguel Cotto wanted to fight at 155, so he just kept it going with Khan. So, I'm just saying, right? We got this resume, and there's some stuff that we could take out of it and say, look, but this fight went this way. So why can't other people just do that? Why not fight David Benavidez as Jamal Charlo and tell him not to rehydrate for 10 pounds? Why not fight Caleb Plant? Right?
Because the money is not that, bro. Like, if you're getting $15 million or $12 million, however much Jacobs got, and motherfucker tell you, hey, bro, you can't come in over shit 10 pounds. I don't fuck all that shit, bro. What you gonna like? Okay. But if you fighting Jamal Charlo, when your paycheck is probably gonna be the same that it's always been, nigga, how dare you tell me what the fuck I can and can't do? Hey, yeah, I'm not getting a exorbitant amount of money not to fucking be at my best. I'm not, and that sounded bad, but
who do we want to see? who do we want to see versus Canelo? Do we want to see another Daniel Jacobs? Do we want to see another?
Put a post on my Twitter and I tag some people. Let me see how this shit is looking right now.
They're gonna say Andre. But
I think that right now in the current career, his status right now, I think the fans want to see Canelo Alvarez fight these lions, these new lions that are. I mean, anybody.
Took my post 46 votes. The second Kovalev is first by being the toughest fight. Then it's Billy Joe Saunders. Then it's Demetrius Andre. Then it's Jamal Charlo.
There you go. I just feel that people are overlooking what he's done, right? You're saying, well, it's a little different. Jacobs is willing to take a 10-pound rehydration because he's getting paid $15 million. Maybe Jamal won't be willing to do that with David Benavidez because the money ain't there. But that's the problem. Y'all got to do your research. Canelo took short money all the way up until the Cotto fight. He took short money on the Floyd fight. He took short money on the Mosley fight. He took short money on the Cotto fight. You know, even the Trout fight, right? Like, he played his part. He put himself in this position. Just do some searching. He put himself in this position. He took a catch weight. He sucked himself down. Now he's the A side. Just like when Cotto turned A side, go back and do your history. Cotto was mad at being a B side. He was mad that Pacquiao made him suck down. He was mad that he didn't get the Floyd fight when he wanted. But when he became A side, he sucked down somebody. Two somebodies. He made Canelo fight at 55. He made Sergio Martinez fight at 55 with fucking knee braces. Like, that's what you do when it's your turn. These people got to take their turn. They got to step up, take short money, do the things that you need to do. Somebody could have done it. Somebody could have beat Cotto. If they didn't like the contract, they could have renegotiated that contract. Say, yo, that's too many years. Make it a fight. Make it by fights. You want me for 4 fights, fine. But you got to give me my 4 in 1 year. You got to give me my 4 within 18 months. If you don't meet that, I'm out. But why leave that legend to Saddam Ali? He did nothing with it. Unfortunately, no disrespect to Ali. I know him personally, but like, he did nothing with it. He let Jaime take all that shine. What would have Earl done with the cachet of a Miguel Cotto or Mikey with the cachet? His arm was going to break that night. Can't change that. It ain't matter who he was fighting because Saddam ain't punch him. And his bicep tore. What was it that tore that night? Something happened to him that night, so it was going to happen regardless. We got Davidian in Niagara Falls. Talk to me.
What up, Davidian?
Hey, what's up? How y'all doing? What's up, Ness? What's up, Mike? What's up? Is it Doomy?
Doomy.
Yeah, Doomsday, brother. Thank you.
Okay. What's up? How y'all doing? No, I don't know. I just love the show. Yeah, I love hearing y'all. Y'all been doing great interviews. So, yeah, I don't know. I mean, the fight with Canelo and Kovalev, that's a big one. I don't know. I really like Canelo. I like both of them, to be honest. That's a good fight. I don't know. I think Kovalev, might still have something in the tank. I don't know. From hearing all the chatter about he's weak to the body, that's true, but I don't know. Maybe he can, he's got a great jab. I think people underestimate, like, his boxing IQ. Like, he's a pretty good boxer, though. So, I don't know. I can't wait to see the fight. But, y'all keep doing your thing because it's really good. I love hearing the show every day. So, all right. Yeah, that's my call.
Appreciate it, man. Appreciate
it. Thanks, yeah.
5-year plan, man. 5 years from now, we'll be on ESPN, man. I remember Stephen A. Smith, before he was on First Take, didn't he have a podcast on ESPN or while he was on First Take? Because I don't follow him like that. But I remember he had a podcast that was real hot. My uncle, not hot for me, but my uncle used to listen to it, always send it to me. He used to beg me to call in, too. I think he might still have it.
Not a podcast, a radio show.
Oh, damn.
Yeah, it's on Sirius XM.
He still does it?
Yeah, every day.
What was the name of it?
Stephen A. Smith Show.
Sounds like it might be like he might have had something else other than that. I don't remember that being the
He
title.
had a show a long time ago called Quite Frankly, but that was like a more of a sit down talk show.
So yeah, man. All I'm saying is speak it, believe it, receive it, man. So thank you for the kind words, brother. We definitely want to continue to grow in our podcast. We want to continue to bring you, top notch interviews like this. We just want to be able to sustain our life while doing it. We got, I think this might be P Money, right? Patrick? I don't know. Is Patrick P Money?
I have no clue.
Yeah. He is.
Patrick
can you
P
hear me?
Money, what's up? Respect to you. He signed up 160, 168. He looking for a fight. Shout out. He hit me up on IG. You know jiu-jitsu, man. You and Doomy need to talk. Doomy, have a little jiu-jitsu conversation. See how much he know. He might armbar somebody.
He might put somebody in the Kimura.
Yeah.
Hey, you know that. Nah, but I don't know, man. You guys talking about Andre Ward coming back? I think you guys missed him and Tim Bradley in London for the Loma Campbell.
Nah,
They were talking all that shit about retiring and being out before everyone else and this whole spiel to like all the media. I don't know, man. I just don't see Ward coming back and losing his He was just after that.
I just see that as a way to make sure they come correct, man. Remember does anybody remember Ward's alleged Rock Nation deal? Because remember, he never gave up the figures, but I'm going to Google now the rumors.
Yeah, I heard it was a lucrative deal.
Was that the AJ one are you talking about or nah?
No. The Andre Ward Rock Nation deal.
Nah, I ain't heard about that.
But yeah, we definitely seen the little in the ring with Tim Bradley when he was saying that he left millions on the table. You know what I'm saying? He wasn't gonna come back and things like that. So yeah, I mean, but
Mike, I'm gonna have to come after you, man.
Come on with it.
For Canelo, I'm not a Canelo fan, honestly. I'm a Triple G fan, but just look at his resume, man. I don't know how people put Terrence Crawford pound for pound over him. Like, come on, Gamboa at the top of your resume. I give Canelo credit for just challenging himself. I don't think he won the first or the second Triple G fight, but I just give him credit for fighting those fights.
So you got a guy with 2 losses in your own personal book. No, not saying that. Actual record. You got a guy with 2 losses as your number 1 pound for pound guy?
More, yeah. I have him losing to Laura too, but I'm just happy that he took the fights. Honestly, he fought the better guys, the way better guys. He has a way better resume.
I'm gonna tell you I just put Terrence Crawford above everybody else because if you want to fight, we can fight. If you want to be outboxed, we can be. You can get outboxed. If you want me to be the aggressor, I can be the aggressor. If you want me, cut it. I can go southpaw. Anything you want Terrence to do in that ring, he can damn near do it.
You know what? I agree on that, Mike.
I'm sorry, go ahead.
No, I really do agree with Mike. As an overall fighter, being a person that really analyzes fights, I see Crawford just above everybody in that aspect. That he does whatever he wants in there. He does whatever he wants. I mean, we've seen a whole bunch of styles from Crawford in different fights, and if he wants to bring it to you, he brings it to you. If you want to switch up on you, yeah, totally agree, Mike.
We got Brandon in Cincinnati. Talk to me.
What up, B?
What's good, Mike? Ness Doomy. Can y'all hear me? How I'm sounding?
Loud and clear.
Oh yeah. I don't think Andre Ward hating, man. I agree with him. I mean, what the fuck you taking pictures with your opposition for before the fight? You want taking pictures with Andre Ward, smiling, taking selfies and shit. It seems to me like Kovalev just happy to be there, man. He just happy to be getting that big payday. He's supposed to be the crusher and shit. You cheesing all hard. Thought you was supposed to be this killer. Supposedly had a body in the ring, though. So that's making me think he ain't really even concerned about winning, man. He just happy to be under the bright lights one last time, in my opinion. So I don't think Andre Ward hating. He just keeping it real.
Maybe he look at him like food, and he can't believe this little guy actually want to like challenge him. So he's kind of laughing about it.
Yeah, you can look at it like that, but I mean, he ain't never smiled and took selfies with nobody else. He usually just
Him and Yard
lean
did
like
smile
that.
at the end.
Yeah, they did. I just don't like that shit. I don't like when no fighters do it. I like real beef and shit. I like animosity before fights. And as far as Andre Ward coming back to fight Canelo, man, y'all gonna get Canelo killed. Andre Ward will fuck Canelo up. I'm telling y'all, I don't give a fuck how long he been out of retirement. Out of prime, in his prime, he fucked Canelo up easy. Y'all, I don't even know why that's even debatable. In my opinion, I think Andre Ward might fuck around to stop little Canelo, bro. Y'all tripping.
Yo, don't forget CYP said Canelo fights dudes that's 35. All his big fights are 35, 36, and that would make Ward around that age. That's the time he picks him because he knows he could take him. We got Rue in the 504.
To me, just listening to that Rogan interview with Ward, he just sounds like a guy that's mentally content and done where he is as far as his career being over. If he came back, I'd be really shocked. As far as Canelo goes, I mean, he's the face of the sport. And just like Floyd did in his last fight with Berto, Floyd could have fought someone better than Berto, but he's the face of the sport. He's the cash cow. He can do what he wants. I mean, it does suck because we might not get competitive fights, but I mean, it is what it is. It's the nature of the beast of boxing. But that's my call.
All right. Steve, talk to me. Skype.
Steve.
Hey, good morning, guys. Yeah, the last caller kind of took my wind. That's what I was going to say. You know, people hate the guy that's on top. People hate the guy that's the breadwinner. People hate the guy with all the money. People are just hating on Canelo. But my take on the fight is if Canelo wins, I see him taking on Callum Smith. If he loses, then he'll go down and fight Andre.
All
Okay.
right, Steve.
And to your point, Steve, heavy is the head that wears the crown.
That's right. Heavy lies the crown. You know what? People's attitudes would be much different though after this. If Canelo manages to stop Kovalev in better fashion and take less punishment than Ward did, what are you guys gonna say then? What are you guys gonna say then? That Ward washes Canelo?
See, listen. I couldn't find much on the Miguel. I mean the Ward deal, but everywhere you're seeing the Miguel Cotto deal was very high in the 50s. So you gotta assume, man. You know, you gotta just assume. Yep.
So that Ward got like half of that, or what?
And he got more. They treated him more of a star than Cotto. Remember? Shit, they served Cotto up. He got Rock Nation got him 2 tune-ups, then the Kovalev fight. You know, not to mention they got him out his contract with Joe Goosen, or they signed him right out of that contract. You know, when he was going to court.
What fights did Rock Nation get Cotto? I'm just trying to like.
Cotto, Daniel Gill. Man,
Yeah,
let me see. Let me see.
I mean, that's a nice fight for your $450 million.
Yeah, but it was right into the. But it was meant to give him right to the dude he didn't want to. You know, he didn't want to face Gennady. You know.
Okay.
But let me see. When did they sign him? I want to say either the Martinez fight or the Gill fight. But I think it was the Gill fight was his first fight. It could be. And then he went into the Canelo, you know. But it was only 2 fights then. Damn, that's crazy.
They signed Cotto in it said 2015.
Yup. So 2 fights. Oh my God, the Gil and the Canelo fight. Cause then he went to Golden Boy for the Kama guy and Saddam Ali fight.
And you ain't doing right? Shit. What you mean I ain't do you right?
Yeah, nah,
Got
man.
you $55 million.
Yo, but think about Ward though. Think about Ward.
If Ward got more than that,
Ward definitely got more. We gotta end this shit. My dog's just flipping out.
You ain't got the particular.
Ward definitely got more than that. In my opinion, though, there's no facts.
We get that boomerang, man.
Go for it. Go for it, NL.
Yeah. Say, bro, Ward ain't getting more than, man. Come on, man.
Hold on. Yes, he did. And look at Ward's schedule, yo. He got that BET fight. Shout out to Jay-Z with Paul Smith. So if you want to talk about easy, he got Paul Smith on BET for the bag, Sullivan Barrera on HBO for the bag, Alexander Brand on HBO for the bag, then fought Kovalev on a pay-per-view for the baggy bag. We all know he got the money, and Kovalev ain't getting no money.
Yeah, but
so he got more than Cotto got out his contract. That's what you're telling.
I mean, I said that's just my opinion, man. That's just my opinion. I felt like they knew there was more years on Ward. We never thought Ward was going to retire when he did. So they wasn't going to invest $50 million in the old Cotto and not invest $50 million in a young Ward. That's just my theory.
That back though, if you fight Canelo, you can make that money back in the Canelo fight of a Cotto.
Listen, maybe you're right. Like I said, that's just my opinion.
They ain't make that much money off the pay-per-view. They ain't make that much money off the pay-per-view.
Yeah.
What that pay-per-view sold like?
Bad investment.
Like 100
bad
and
investment.
What?
Bad investment. That's all I can say. That don't mean they didn't give them the money. That don't mean they didn't give them the money.
But look. Yeah, I mean, you right. They could have. I mean, fuck. We really don't hear from Rock Nation no more anyway. So, they made a lot of bad investments. You know what I'm saying? They did a lot of shit that they could have did better. But man, look, let me touch on this right quick. You heard me? Y'all, everybody on this show know I don't fuck with Eddie Hearn, dog. But he the only promoter that I can think of that say, bro, Eddie Hearn slick. I know what Eddie Hearn about to do next. Watch what I tell you. He gonna go back to Saudi Arabia, right? He gonna get Dillian White, and he gonna get Big Juicy, and then on the undercard he gonna get Ortiz and Povetkin, the bad or the B sides. Say, dog, watch what I tell you, dog. Eddie Hearn slick, dog. He gonna put all them on the card, and that's gonna be the bad or the B sides. Seconds. That shit gonna sell. That shit gonna sell like a motherfucker over there. Watch what I tell you, bro. The bad or the B, cause you gotta look at it. They found their B samples, and they the B side, the Fury, Wilder, and Joshua. You dig? That's my call. Y'all need
cut it. Yo, cut it. All right, cut it. I got what? Just one. Oh, good. Dominic, go. We gotta hurry up, man.
Yeah, I just got a quick question. 60 seconds. How much did Ward make in Kovalev 2? If not, then it would be lucrative for him to fight Canelo or Kovalev if one of them win, because it would be the biggest payday he ever had.
I mean, I think Ward wasn't Mike. Didn't we Google that the other day? I think Ward got like $6 million for the second fight.
6-7 million, something like that, man.
Exactly. So you telling me he out here just tweeting for the fuck of it, knowing that Kovalev just got 8-figure deal? Kovalev got enough money to pay 2 promoters and still make 10 mil. Y'all better stop playing. Ward made $6 million to fight Kovalev. Kovalev making $14 million to fight Canelo.
And that's why Ward wants to come back, you saying?
Hell yes. The market's changed. Money's out there. That's why he talking about I left tens of millions on the table. 10 seconds. You want DAZN to throw that 10 million at you. Everybody need that 10 million. Everybody need it. But that's GTO, Instagram, and Twitter. I'm out.
Gross1911 on IG and Gross2312 on Twitter.
Alex Doomsday _ I mean, man, I'm sick, bro. Alex, catch me on IG. All right, Alex Doomsday Linus. I'm sorry, guys.